Hello, today is March 19th, 2017. I will be speaking about the mistakes of the Congressmen. I, the first president of 2017, clean and honest, have been chosen since November 2, 2016 with the law of the justice of people and the justice of the United States. I am speaking time after time for the peace and for the best of the American people and the United States. The law of the United States chooses the president just one time. The president, the congressmen, the officials of the government, the justice, the CIA, the FBI, the judges, the police are chosen and directed by the law of the American government, as I have spoken other times. Also, these leaders, the president, the congressmen of the United States, the high officials of the White House, must be remarkable, honest, and must have given for the best to the American people and the United States. But also the American people are directed by the law of the American government. The Speaker of the House and the Congressmen of the United States of year 2014-2015 decided in reforms to respect the law of the American Constitution for the justice and the freedom of the people, to verify the corruption and others for the well-being of the people of the United States and everything else with the law of the American government. In the year of 2016, the Speaker of the House and the Congressmen spoke before you people that in the White House and the Congress of the United States there are corrupted opponents. But since 2016 and until now in 2017, the Speaker of the House and the Congressmen have never answered to the people that the White House has been cleansed from corruption. The congressmen are chosen by people for the well-being in their family life, for peace, for protection of the American people and the United States. And the people should never be troubled and harmed. The congressmen and the justice of the United States must be vigilant for the protection of justice and the freedom of the citizens, and to respect the justice of the good citizen with the best law of the United States. From the non-vigilance of the congressmen and the justice that do not catch the corruption, the people are harmed and the United States is harmed. The citizens and high officials of the American government, the intelligence, the congressmen, listen themselves to the corruption and the speeches of the presidential candidates of 2017. These officials know the laws of the government, that unlawful and corrupted citizens are not allowed to lead the people. But also when these presidential candidates spoke for the second time with their corruptions, they should have been stopped from speaking before the American people, because people become troubled, and until now people are doing revolts for the presidential candidate of 2017. The American government should not be subdued by anyone who is corrupted. When the congressmen, the high officials of the government, the staff of the White House protects the people and the United States from corruption, the people trust the American government and stay in peace with their families. With the law of the American justice, the people get into prison even for little corruption or even for doing a little harm. The justice and the police protects the people not to be harmed from the corruption. If the president and the congressmen are corrupted, and the high officials of justice and the police listen and do not catch the government official that is corrupted, also the people listen to the corruption and become scared and troubled. The Speaker of the White House of 2016 accepted the corrupted presidential candidate of 2017 in the White House. The presidential candidate of 2017 entered freely in the White House in the day of his inauguration. This is very clear that there was corruption in the White House. Again, the congressman spoke that there were done mistakes in the White House. The Speaker of the House of the Congress spoke again to the people that if the presidential candidate has done mistakes, he should leave from the White House. The presidential candidate himself chose his staff in the White House and then removed some of his staff from the White House for wrongdoing. The President should not be allowed to choose the staff of the White House or the government officials that lead the people, because corruptions happen. But the government officials and the staff of the White House should be chosen by the justice of the government and the congressmen who have given for the best to the people and the United States. The congressmen and the intelligence of the United States should have been vigilant for the staff of this presidential candidate that is unlawful, corrupted, and that entered in the White House. Congressmen and high officials of the White House should be vigilant for the mistakes that are done in the presidency of the White House, because they should protect the justice of the United States, the peace of the people, and the peace of the United States. The congressmen and the politicians have spoken before the people individually that the presidential candidate should be honest and is not accepted unlawfully in the Congress. But also other congressmen have spoken to the people that this presidential candidate of 2017 was unlawful. The two parties of the Congress should have come together to respect the justice of the American government and the rights and liberties of the people with the law of the American government. The vigilance of the government of the United States, of the congressmen, and the justice with the American law should not have accepted this presidential candidate of 2017 to enter in the White House, or should have removed this presidential candidate with culture from the White House. For the second time, the Congress accepted with hand claps the unlawful presidential candidate of 2017. For this unlawful presidential candidate of 2017 who entered in the White House, the security of the government of the United States did not go in his inauguration and protected the rights and liberties of the people and the American justice. The security of the American government, the army, the justice, protected again the justice and the law of the United States, the freedom of the people of the United States, and did not appear before the Congress to accept this unlawful presidential candidate. Also, the judges, the lawmakers of the Congress, were without the uniform of the law of the American government. These actions of the Speaker of the Congress and the congressmen, that one time they accepted the unlawful presidential candidate and one time they did not accept him, shows that they played with the democracy of the United States and the justice and the liberty of the American people and the law of the American government. The people of the United States have spoken that this presidential candidate has done corruptions and has offended the dignity of the women. He has stepped on the democracy of the United States, the dignity and the laws of the justice and the freedom of the women. The vigilance of the justice and the Congress should have removed this presidential candidate of 2017 immediately. The director of the Rights for Women should have been vigilant and should have stopped immediately this presidential candidate for stepping on the democracy of the United States, the freedom, the justice, and lowering the dignity of the women. All women and men in a true democracy have their liberty and justice. The women that are honest and good citizens should be respected with the best of the American laws. If this congressman and the justice allowed this corrupted presidential candidate, unaccepted by the American people, this means that democracy, freedom, the justice of the people, the law of the United States gets destroyed. The White House and the Congress should be formed correctly, with discipline, according to the laws of the American government. The President and every congressman and high government official that are corrupted should leave from their job according to the laws of the American government. And other congressmen and high officials should be chosen that are honest and that have given for the best to the people and the United States. This action should be taken immediately from the American justice, the security of the government of the United States that are not corrupted, that the American government becomes established correctly to protect the peace and the well-being of the people and to protect the United States according to the American laws. The law of the United States does not allow that in the White House and the Congress enter people that are incompetent, corrupted, without qualification, that make a mess and overthrow the law of the United States. This speech is for the enforcement of the law of the government of the United States, for the mistakes that were done by the congressmen and the high officials of the White House that accepted the unlawful and corrupted presidential candidate. These congressmen and high officials of the White House played with the freedom and the law of the United States, played with thousands and thousands of people that have been remarkable fighters and have lost their lives, played with presidents and patriots who were remarkable that fought for the welfare of the people, that in the USA there be no more slavery, and for the true peace and democracy, for freedom and democracy of the people around the world. Therefore, United States is the most powerful, humanitarian, and the most democratic in the world. The President, the Congressmen, the high officials of United States that are corrupted must leave from their job according to the law of the American government. The security of the government, the congressmen, the justice should be vigilant all the time to protect the justice and the freedom of the American people and the United States. But also the police must be vigilant at all times where the American people live and work for the protection of the people and the United States. I have spoken other times that there should be placed modern weapons in the borders of the United States to catch shells and bullets to protect the United States and the American people, in the borders all around the world to protect soldiers and people, and in the American embassies of the world for the protection of the employees of the embassies of the United States and the people. I am speaking this speech as a first president, independent, the analyst of the American justice, the analyst of health, the protection of the people of the United States, for the peace of the people of the United States and all the world. But also I'm speaking because I am a lawmaker of the Congress of the United States. In the year 2014-2015, my speech passed in reform with the law of the American government. I'm speaking for the rights, the liberties, and peace of all the American people and all the world. I will be a first president of the year 2017 with the law of the United States and the law of the justice of the people of the United States, for the welfare and the peace of the people of the United States and all the world, generation after generation.